is class 3 and class 4? Let's start there.
Okay.
Right? And so class 3 and class 4 are not brand names. They are standards. And you need to achieve a set of criteria, and every area within that criteria needs to be met for you to be able to call your fastener a class 3 or a class 4. What we've identified in the industry is the term class 3 and class 4 is used, and people apply it onto their branding or the packaging, thinking it's a brand name. It's not. All right? And so that's where I want to start. And so class 3 and class 4 is then also linked to corrosion categories. Right? ISO 9223 has corrosion categories C1 all the way down to C5. And then they recommend the corrosion, the class of fastener to be used in those corrosion categories. Okay. And then, so to give an idea, class 3 in South Africa stands 1273 of 2011. I think it's edition 2.1. References the Australian standard, AS 3566.2. Point 2 in Australian standard reference corrosion resistance. And if you comply to that standard, you effectively comply to the South African standard. And so for guidelines, go to the AS standard 3566.2. And at the time, 2011 was modeled off Australian standard 2002. The Australian standard has been upgraded. It's now 2025. And so you also need to understand compliance in that regard. So the South African standards of 2011 references Australian standard, but it doesn't reference the date range.
Okay.
But when the standard was developed, it was 2002. That was the point of reference. But now 2025 is available. But in South African standard 2011, they don't reference a date. Okay. They only reference the standard.
Okay.
So which standard do you comply to? Right? And so it's understanding these things and being future fit. And that is our difference. Metal, I'm going off topic here, but same highway, different lane.
I love it.
So metal roofing has evolved, right, tremendously. Lots of innovations in it, but the fastener has not. And that's the sad part. And as we referenced earlier, the fastener is critical to the system. And so this is what we are trying to do as corrosion fasteners, is to align the innovation on pace where the metal roofing industry is. The sad part is, or the unfortunate part is, and I'm speaking from my opinion, and I could be wrong, is that the competitors isn't necessarily keeping up with us. And so there becomes that gap in price point in the market. And so we also need to, so we're trying to innovate to keep up with the fast-paced metal roofing industry, but also not outprice ourselves where we can't be in business. And so it's marrying that too. And there's more different metals, that's evolving, it's coming into the market that isn't necessarily compatible, or there's miscompatibilities. And so it's understanding all those nuances with what's present, what's coming, and how it relates to the standard, and is the current standard even future fit for what's coming? Because, developing the standards also takes some time. Yes. By the time the standard is approved, the market has changed, shifted. And so I don't want to get into a different tangent now, but
we're on the same page there.
So class 3 and class 4 is standards. You do not get a class 5 fastener.
Yes.
There is a category 5, and there is a misconception that the class of fastener fits into the corrosion category, and that's not the case.
Yes.
Inland, class 2s are considered, you can use it, but inland areas are considered corrosion category 2 environments and not class 2 environments. And this is the misinformation, and it's the interpretation of the standard, because to comply as class 3 or to comply as class 4, there's various routes of compliance. And so it's important to ask your supplier, how do you comply? And show me how you comply. And don't ask for test certificates, ask for test results. They need to be able to produce visual evidence of the testing process which delivered the result, not the certificate. Certificates can be manufactured. And these are but some of the instances that I've experienced over the years. And this is part of my advice when we are engaging, and they would say, your price is expensive, this one is cheaper. And I would just ask them for the test results. And when they share the test results and I analyze the test results, in this instance, they were selling a class 3 off as a class 4. Not understanding what the class 4 criteria and performance is. And that then allowed us to, enlighten the customer, and then they could make an informed decision.